Hi everybody, welcome to the Beneath the Surface podcast yet again. I've got a very special guest. We've got Sarah here today.
Oh, hi.
And yeah, I met her at this hostel, and yeah, tell us a little about yourself, Sarah.
Well, I am at this hostel that is more like a hippie center for 2 weeks tomorrow. I meant to say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just to remind you. I'm sorry, I just do that all the time.
No worries.
It's just because I think it's a special day for people and I want them to not forget. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What do you want to know about me?
Appreciate that. All right, let's see. Let's get deep and dark here. No, I was actually curious about just how you grew up, like parents, situation and all that, just start with the basics.
Yeah, okay. So I was a second child of 4 girls.
Okay.
My parents were like this normal couple until I was 17, 18. They got divorced.
Okay.
I grew up we were living in one village until I was 5, and I had my best friend and my boyfriend, when you find a boyfriend. It was perfect. I like my 2 guys, and I was having a great time. I remember playing in the fields with my sisters and well, one of them, my big sister, because the other was too young.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a great time, and then we had to move away, so I lost my best friend and my boyfriend, and I had to meet new people and stuff, and we went in this other village that was even smaller than the first one. So and then we were living on the outside of it, so I just grew
more
up.
Rural area.
Yeah, I was literally just playing in the fields every day.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm here, because I just love being
the
outside.
Fields.
And and I was kind of the kind of person that doesn't have many friends, but I had all my sisters, so I would never get really bored, because I
like a few really really close friends, like lower numbers, but like you got your sisters who obviously you're really connected with and close with. Yeah,
and I had a few friends, but after when I moved away from the place where I had my two companions, I never got to get a best friend again.
Oh, okay.
Like there was this girl that I thought was my best friend, but she was always kind of mean to me, so I think that was not the...
No, you gotta, you've kind of felt that and you were like, I gotta get out of that.
Well, until I was 15.
Yeah.
No, it's just, you think you think they're the first people you get friends with, and you're like, they should stick around. But
and you also think it's like this is as good as it gets, kind of like when I've had like... Yeah,
I was thinking I'm the problem here. I need to make an effort. They're normal people. It's just me that doesn't want to fit in or whatever.
Exactly. Like me, Kieran, and Connor talk about this. It's just like one of us could move to China at any moment, or like move away forever.
But how long have you known each other?
Forever. For like, not actually forever, but for about...
Oh, are they the guys that are looking for...
Yeah, that's
shit.
They're. I'm trying to think right now. Do some quick math. I think it's been 12 years we've been friends. So,
wow, that's crazy.
Since
I have a friend that I've known for 12 years, but I see him once a year, so it's not the same.
Yeah. It's maybe not 12.
No, but
maybe like 8 years. I don't know.
Even if it's 8 years.
Yeah, even if it's 8.
Do you spend much time with them?
Yeah. I mean, a good amount. It's like, it's interesting because we've all been on trips. So we've all been, like, Connor's been on a trip backpacking Europe before, and Kieran and I, were home for like a couple months, and it's scary at first. I'm like, I'm losing one of my best friends for a while, but it's just like, what I've realized is when he got back, it was like seeing him, and like part of me, to be honest, I was just like, oh wait, maybe things will be different, maybe like he's done some growing and changing, and I've done some growing and changing, so like maybe it's gonna be different,
And I got younger in my head.
Yeah. But it was hilarious because we just like saw each other again, and it was just like totally like no like we've both changed to however time that passed. You know, it was only a couple months, so you know, like really, you know, a couple months isn't too much time. But we've both, you know, grew, but not apart.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
even though that does happen, you know, growing apart does happen. And same with like Kieran, you know, he does circus. He's done circus, a lot of stuff, and he's been gone some summers. And me and Connor are like, oh damn, because it's like a trio, really. It's like me, Kieran, and Connor. And when we don't have one of our own, you know, around, it's sad, but you know, also we're proud of whoever. We're proud of Kieran for doing circus and going out there. We're proud of Connor. We were proud when he was backpacking Europe. You know, it's like, wow, this guy's kicking ass, and Kieran's kicking ass. So there's always that amount of fear and that amount of, you know, being able to rejoice, you know, that our friend's growing.
You always sad because they're not around, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that they're doing something great. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have the same, like, it's pretty crazy. I met those guys last year when I moved in Ireland. Because I went to this company that is all about building conservation counseling. And I met Simon and Sheena.
Okay.
There are two guys that were working in the office. It was like there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people.
Okay.
And so the first person I had to work with really was Simon.
Okay.
And he's this guy with those really long hair,
Yeah.
this really long beard, he's carving spoons, and he's awesome. Like,
Oh,
he's the best.
yeah.
And so it's crazy. The first time we had to work together, like my boss was like, "Oh, you're gonna work together," and Simon was like, "Oh, I'm not good to work with," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm good to work with." Like, yeah, sure. So I'm compensating for you, and so we actually sat one day by the computer, started working on this shit, and we just got along so well. We're just laughing all along.
Yeah.
And then we were just like doing some research on the Machu Picchu stone masonry stuff. I was like nothing to do with what we were doing, kind of, because it's an old building, but it's a bit not what we were supposed to do. Yeah. But we got along so well. It was very good. I was happy with that. So that was the first step.
Yeah.
And then Sheena, I started to get to know her because the thing in Ireland, you always have to do conversations. So you're always like, "Oh, how are you doing?
Yeah.
What did you do last weekend? What are you gonna do next weekend?" And that's the kind of thing you ask because that's just, you know, normal stuff.
Yeah, you know, small talk, you know.
Yeah, and I did that with Sheena. I was like, "Oh, what you doing next weekend?" And she was like, "Oh, I have already plans. I'm doing this and this. But if you want to have tickets for a gig in next month, if you want to go with me." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so nice." I was like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I want. I mean, definitely." And I was like, "Yeah," and because she probably would have gone. I don't know if she would have gone with Simon because he and Simon were best friends.
Okay.
And there was the third one, Ronan, and he was away because he's also working in a circus.
Yep.
Those circus people,
No, I was about to say, it's like they're everywhere.
And so he would be either in Australia or China or North America, and so he was never around. Well, he comes back. Like I met him before, and I knew who he was. Yeah. He was the son of the boss, actually. Okay. He was like kind of a family.
Family.
And so she was like, Simon was going on a trip through Europe with Ronan, the two of them in a van going to a wedding in Italy, but they would just drive all the way, and it was like an amazing trip for them. Yeah. And so Sheena would be on her own, like her two best friends would go away. So you know how it feels.
It's hard. It's like being away from those who you love.
Yeah, and so she had to mind the house, Simon's house, because he was living in this house in the countryside. Okay. And he had a cat, so she had to mind the cat, just go feed him every night and stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, the uncle was kind of living here during the week, so she during the weekends, so she had to be there only during the week. Yeah. And so she asked me if I wanted to go mind the house with her too, and we did that, and we were just like, this house was so perfect. It was kind of in a place like this, but smaller. Totally. It was just one house, and there was like trees around. Yeah, beautiful. You wouldn't see nothing. and there was like no noise, and it was very cool. And we had so one evening the both of us, and we got to know each other. And she was telling me, oh, you know what, with Ronan there's something happened, and
dang.
she's like, you were the first one after her best friend that was in Dublin. She's like, you're the first one I'm telling. And I was like, oh my god, he's so nice. I was like, oh, you think I'm family already? And so
like, I can hold that for you, like being able to be like knowing that someone is comfortable enough to open up that much to you.
But it's so nice, but at the same time it's like, oh shit, that's a big burden now I have to carry, because I don't know, it's like, yeah, okay, I have a secret now.
Like, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, like, okay, I need to, and I need not to wink at her every time he's around, or you know.
Just be like, hey,
it's like, you know, I have to act cool, like I don't know anything, but I know.
It's hard to keep that in.
Yeah, but no, it was fine because he was not too much around, and I was not asking her too much. And every time I'm like, so how is it going with Ronan? And she's like, you know, it's fine. And we're like, oh shit, girl, you could tell me more.
Shit, girl, you could tell me more. Shit, girl.
We really got along, and we went to that gig, and it was this Irish woman that was singing, and she was super cool. It was a really nice concert. And so we got to know each other, and it's like I knew her for 6 months before I was living back in France.
Yeah.
And so same with Simon and Ronan. I knew him less, but I don't know, he was so nice to me too. And like the three of them, they are the best people I've ever met, and I love them with all my heart, even though I don't know them that much.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just get that connection.
It's super weird, and they're the kind of people you just sat around the fire and you don't talk.
Yeah.
And you do that for 2 or 3 hours, and you just like and you drink Guinness, and like, who wants another pint, and they just go back and get another pint. It's
human connection.
Yeah, and so that's something I really like, but it's weird at the same time because it's so new.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? You know, like, what's going on? My friend Teddy and I, you know, when I met him, he's one of my closest friends. When I met him, it was kind of like that. It was like we met. I don't know which one was first. We connected a lot on like we both played tennis, so we're on the bus together, and we had like Spanish, or not Spanish, we had we didn't have Spanish class, we had, I'm just kind of a panic attack right here. Oh god.
So both of you were playing tennis?
Yeah.
And then?
I don't know. I know, it's like, oh god. We were playing tennis, and we also had like English class and like chemistry, you know, just a bunch of classes together. Okay. And at first, when he like came into chemistry class, I think that was when I like met him. It was like, oh, like, this guy seems like kind of fun. Like, and we like met and hung out. And it was almost instant. We were like, we should hang out. Like, this is like, we both really, you know, liked, you know, being vulnerable and like practicing and growing and like getting on that, you know, next, you know, level when it comes to just telling someone who you are, you know, being comfortable enough to tell them like, you know, the thing with, you know, I told you about the guy, you know, your friend, it's like that kind of thing. And we got really like really close and really comfortable around each other. And then he just turned into like one of my best friends. And it was interesting because at that time, I had some very close friends, but I was asking for someone. I kind of just asked the universe for someone just that I can be vulnerable with, you know, and be completely, you know, in high school, like a new person to me, you know, in high school that I can really connect with. And he just shows up, and I'm like, all right, this is the guy, you know, like him and I just like instantly put everything, how our relationship is, we just put everything on the table, you know. It's like, we just, if like one of us like said something that, you know, slightly bothered the other, we don't like bury it and don't talk about it. Yeah. You know, we're just like, all right, well, let's put it on the table, you know, because that's how like arguments happen. And, you know, it's really magical. Same thing with Kieran and Connor and my friend Zach and other relationships I have. It's like we just are comfortable enough to put everything who we are, or everything that we're about, on the table, you know.
It looks like you have loads of those kinds of friends. Like,
I'm very lucky. No, I'm seriously lucky. It's like, my friend Zach, I've known since like 3rd grade, and him and I just help each other grow and, you know, talk about, you know, a myriad of different topics.
I don't know if it's the same for you, but me with my friends, it's like one thing happened to me, and then I have one friend I can talk about it with. Like, it's like each are for one purpose.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely different with, like, I'm definitely, like, different. I'm not, like, a different person, but I act, you know, a little different around different friends, you know, like, in the sense of, like humor, like, you know, but it's all my humor, like, it's all things I think are funny, but, like, certain, you know, certain things are, like, you know, Zach and I joke about, and I joke more about other things with, like, Kieran and Connor, and, like, same with, like, different comedy with, like, Teddy and I, but it's all, like, fantastic.
Yeah, but I was more thinking of, like, one thing happens to you, like, just, and, like, I don't even know, I don't have an example, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's weird. Different. Sometimes I would go talk to one person on one thing, and it depends. It
depends, you know.
It's like, you can. Yeah.
Like with the guy thing, and it's like same with like if I, you know, met like a girl or whatever, I'd like talk to like Kieran Connor and like Teddy and like about it and just be like, oh, I like this thing, and you know, it's like that holding that space, you know, for like something that is. You know, it's easy to keep the barriers up, you know, when it comes, it's scary, you know, it's a scary thing, but when you build a relationship enough to consistently be able to, you know, take that mask off, that's like the best. That's what the inspiration for this podcast is. It's just like, I want to be able to hold that space for someone, you know, I want to be able to hold that space for whoever I'm having on and whoever, like, I just want to be able to have that space for whatever anyone has to say to me, you know, and be comfortable with it. You know, I want to be able to break that barrier with someone on the podcast. And the camera, you know, obviously it changes things. It makes me like, oh, like there's a camera and all that. But I think that passing through that and, you know, connecting with someone, even though there are like some other pressures, I think that's, you know, a worthwhile endeavor. You know, so that's why I'm having this podcast. And basically, I had some experiences with the guy at the photo store I talked about on another guy's podcast, the New Hampshire Business Show. I really got vulnerable and connected with this guy I'd never met before at this photo store, and it was amazing. And then my friend Arthur, who I'm really close friends with, him and I have been like 7 months ago. I don't know, the time's probably wrong. We were talking about doing a podcast together. And then he just lives so far away from my house, and you know, we weren't able to hang out. Like we were able to hang out like once every like 3 weeks or once a month. So sadly, but I was like, I still want to do a podcast. I was like, this is like Arthur made it sound so cool, and I was like, maybe I could do like my own thing and do like an individual podcast, and you know, and he's doing his thing, and you know, maybe we can, you know, work on something together at some point. But yeah, Arthur's been a huge inspiration for this podcast and for me, and same with just talking with strangers and getting on that, you know, same space.
Yeah, it's weird how sometimes you can just meet someone and connect instantly, but it's the same, even like those connections, they're like, it's just all the circumstances that make it happen, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like even your state of mind that day and their state of mind that day. It's like it's like sometimes when a song is making so much sense to you.
Yeah, so speaks to you.
Yeah, you would listen to it 1,000 times, and then one day you listen to it, like you have it on random on your MP3, and you just listen to music in the bus, and then you hear that song that you've heard so many times, but that day, at that moment, it's like...
It hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
It is. It's like same with people. It's like, wow, this person, you know... Like, it's so... I just love the fact that like I barely know you, you know, and we're having.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
Yeah, it's been like literally like a week.
And it's maybe like 3 hours of work.
Yeah. And it's like so awesome that we could just like have a conversation at all, you know, especially about like these kinds of things. And same with like the other people here. It's really like a unique. It's like that one MP3 song.
But I think. Maybe I am the kind of person that is easy to talk.
You are easy to talk to.
But I think also Buckhill Center is the kind of place where everybody is really, like, it's easy to just open and say whatever you want to say. You know, nobody's gonna judge. It's like I was telling you last night. Like they have generally so super nice souls. So
yeah.
you don't feel like you need to hide your own soul, because you know they're not gonna. There's no one here that how Machiavellic plans are to hurt you.
Yeah,
you know? It's like, no,
you don't have to like
here.
pretend to be anyone else.
Yeah, you can actually be yourself, because and it's like also, well, it's probably different for you because you came with your best friends, but they are like your best friends, so you are yourself with them.
Yeah.
But for me, when I came here, I didn't know anyone, so I came like, that's something I do all the time, and I love to do that. You go someplace, you don't know anyone, no one knows you, and you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah, you can.
And it's just like, okay, so I can actually do clean slate, and I can just start again, and I can just, you can be who you want to be, and you actually go, like, every time I've done it in my life, I was going toward who I wanted, like, the person I want to be.
Yeah.
But the time, like, when I moved in Ireland a year ago, that was when it was super scary.
Yeah.
That was very scary, because I came here and I was like, okay, now it's this clean slate.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am anymore, and I want to become someone, and I want to do it right. I want to be the person I want to be.
Reinvent yourself. You know?
Because obvious people, they influence you so much, you know, and like they don't do it on purpose, and you let them, but not on purpose, influence you, and so you like. It's like forces that push you, and you just like they make you the shape you are. Yeah,
they create, you know, a lot of how you act, you know, who you are.
And you could just be like no, but sometimes you just don't say no, and you just let them punch you, and then you have this shape. And so when I came here, I was like, okay, I am this raw piece of clay, and I'm just gonna start again.
Wow.
And it was so weird, because I literally, it's like mentally what happened, it was like I didn't even like the same things anymore. Yeah. Before I would be a huge fan of Christmas, and now I was like, I don't fucking care. Thank you. It's like it was weird. It was weird because usually I would be like the 1st of December would be like, oh my god, it's Christmas, and I would put lights everywhere, and I would be like, I need a Christmas tree. I need to do everything. No, last year I didn't. It's weird. I don't know if it's because I was in another country, so I was away from the family. I didn't even want to go home to my family. I wanted to stay in Ireland. But anyway, I could feel that I was starting again, and it feels good because I was like, I want to do it. Like I was doing it before when I was moving in France from one city to another to go study. Because I would be like 1 or 2 years that place, and then I would move, and there would like be only new people, so I could be like, they don't know that I was that way before. I can totally be different. They don't know that I am like some, you know. They don't know, also like people expectations. It's changing you.
Definitely, it's, you know, expectations from anyone, your parents, your, you know, friends. You know, it's just
even if it's not friends, like people that know that see you every day. You know?
Strangers.
If you were and you like the guy that is always joking, and one day you just don't want to joke anymore, but everybody thinks you're someone that jokes. You know, so you like.
I get that. I feel that actually. You know, because I
took that example because you joke.
I do joke. I'm sure you did. Good, nice, touche. No, it's true. You know, I like, you know, I think humor is very, very important when it comes to like connecting with someone.
I do the same. Like for example, if I go to an interview, I need to make them laugh. I'm talking to people that are super serious in front of me, and I need to make a joke. And if they don't laugh, I'm like, this is not gonna happen. But not me that I don't want to do it. Like actually, but I know that they are not taking me, like they don't treat me as an equal. First thing, if they don't laugh when you make it, because I'm good jokes.
You do make good jokes. You do. I have proof in how many times I've laughed in the last week.
Look at those 6 packs. That's because she's so funny.
6 packs. Yes, and yes.
But I was just talking about this one time when I was in front of those guys and they were super serious, and I made a joke and they didn't laugh, and I was like, I don't even want to go to school anymore, and they didn't
Humor is important. Humor, like, I it's weird. I really like laughing with me, Kieran and Connor, we're laughing constantly. Like, I love it.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I can hear
Everyone
that.
knows.
Everyone knows. Like,
here.
it's
Yeah,
not
we're
a secret.
constantly.
Thank you.
I admit it. I laugh like a hyena. I really do.
No, but yeah, that's like what Catherine was saying.
Yeah.
She's like, it's so cute. They're always laughing. And she's like, I love it. It's so nice.
I'm such a laugher.
It's true. It's kind of. I gotta say, if I spend the day without laughing, it's not worth it. Like,
yeah.
Or even if you're doing something and there is, you need to joke around.
Yeah.
Or if there is
this
someone,
life is meant to be playful.
If I spend time with someone that is not making me laugh, I'm like, this is what, like, it's not gonna work. I'm sorry, you're an amazing person, but you're too serious.
Yes. It's weird. I have like a duality. It's like I love joking around and laughing and having fun. But I really have like a very, very, like, I don't know if I want to say serious, but like very, very like existential thought side of me. Like what the fuck are we doing here type thing. Like, what is going on here? So I have like this serious and this jokey. So sometimes I do like want to be serious and like people are used to me being jokey and I'm just like, I'm trying to be serious here. Like, I'm trying to be serious.
I am focused.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
I go back and forth,
yeah, but it's like when I have my bad days, you know, and I'm just like, well, I guess people get used to it now because before I would hide it, I wouldn't show people that. But when I came in, I'm like, okay, no way, life is too short. I'm gonna be myself.
Yeah.
And when I'm not in a good mood, I'm just like, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah, you just gotta be honest. You just gotta. Honesty is.
And I realized that you don't have to cut yourself in 1,000 to make everybody happy, because
you don't.
People are not. If you always try to please people, it's not gonna work.
Everyone isn't always like. There's always gonna be people.
Yeah,
who
that's
aren't
one thing.
You.
That's like.
Yeah.
The law of probability.
So why not just be yourself?
If people are actually good people, they will understand that some days you're mean and you say something wrong and you just nobody's perfect. So
What matters is how we react. How we react to when we fuck up.
Yeah, and the best part is that that your friends, they're just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna leave him some space. He needs to he has his bad day. Okay, it's fine. And then the next day they try again, and if you're in a better mood, they would have a good day with you, and that's just it. Yeah. And if you said something that hurt them, they will come to you and tell you, and you'd be like, okay, I'm sorry.
Sometimes, a lot of times it's better. It's always good to practice forgiveness, because if that's forgiving from afar, like if that's forgiving someone that you shouldn't hang out with anymore. But it's still forgiveness, loving someone from afar, like knowing that someone's not good to be around, health-wise, psychologically or whatever it might be, but you still don't hold that grudge and hold that weight, towards them, like want revenge, on whatever they did. So it's really good to practice forgiveness, not only for the person you're forgiving, but also for yourself. If not more for yourself.
It's eating yourself if you don't forgive people. I know.
Exactly.
It's true. I'm still in the hunger state in so many.
No, I feel that.
I need
it's hard. It's
hard.
But
I actually never for a long time I thought I was not good enough for so many things.
Me too.
And I was like, that might be because that might be my fault, or it's like that's okay, or let's just do it that way. And I didn't take the time to be angry for people doing bad, that were mean to me. Yeah, they could be good people, but they could still do bad things.
Of course, exactly.
And if you don't take anger, it's a normal emotion, and it's actually not a normal emotion if you just hold it back. Yeah,
you gotta release it. You gotta experience anger and experience it to its fullest, but don't hold on to it. Yeah. Let it out, but then it's out. Yeah.
And I don't know if you're the same, but I'm the kind of person, if I hold something back, then it's definitely gonna
come back.
Me alive.
Me too. Yeah. Like I used to really hate who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's probably the same.
Yeah.
But now the it's weird because I hold back those feelings less and less, and the less I do it, the more it's hard when I actually do it. Yeah. Like if I hold on now today, if I would not say something that is pissing me off, it could be just a tiniest thing.
Yeah,
it would just already.
That's why Teddy and I, full circle. Teddy and I just, and like my other friends, we always just, if something, even if it's tiny, you know, we tell each other, because holding that is not good.
What I like to do also is I use humor to say it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a good thing to do.
The same thing.
And that's why I do a lot of sarcasm.
Yeah.
I
like it. I like it.
Because I'm like, this is pissing me off, but at the same time, I'm just gonna joke about it, because in 10 minutes I'm gonna have forgotten because I did a joke. Yeah. You know, it's like,
we laugh about our biggest problems later. You know, like time, like my high school largest stresses are a joke now. You know, it's like, oh, like.
Yeah, but it's because you actually, that's what I was trying to say, is that because I make it a joke, then it's not going to be a problem, you know? Yeah,
it helps. It makes it more playful and less serious and more without...
And they get the message anyway. Like they, even though
without
it's not being something serious, you don't look them in the eyes and be like, oh, what you did was very annoying. You just say, you just do, like, make a joke or tell
and they get the message. But it's still like a lighter.
I think I did that with Alan the other day, and he got the message. Because you were here when I was asking how did he make the sound work.
Oh yeah.
And he was like saying all those things, and I was like, oh, intelligence, blah blah blah. And I was like, he's kidding me.
Oh yeah.
Are you really telling me that I'm stupid? And I was like. So I answered his way. I was like, "Oh, you're the sweetest person ever."
Oh yeah, I remember that. I actually very specifically remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, and after that, he didn't talk to me for a while.
Really?
Yeah, and I think he got the message.
I mean.
And I was so afraid that I hurt his feelings, because I was like, he's playing that game, so I'm gonna play back, you know. Yeah. But I didn't want him to get hurt or anything, because I don't know him that well.
Yeah, you know, it's all about getting to know each other.
But today we talked normally, so it looks like it's normal, and he was not teasing me.
Yeah.
So that's a bit different. I was like, okay, that's weird, but I don't know. It's like, step back to get to know, because he looks like a sound guy. The first day I came here, he was the first guy to talk to me, and I got a super good impression because he was not teasing me.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's always levels of teasing. You know, it's like. Some people teasing is, you know, it's different to different people, you know, teasing. It's
but if you don't want anyone to answer back,
that's
not working.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not the one that's going to shut up. Like, That's why I quit my job, because I was not shutting up and my boss didn't like it.
I'm glad you quit. That sounded like a bad job.
He was telling me stuff, and I was answering, because I was like, you lying, that's not working. And he wouldn't even... Like, I'm giving you this example. He was like, oh, so today you started at 3, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, at 5 you took your break. And I was like, I took 15 minutes break to eat a sandwich.
Is this at your old job?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I took 15 minutes break to eat a sandwich. And he was like, that was half an hour break. And I was like, no, I just had a sandwich.
Yeah.
I was like,
doesn't take a half an hour.
I watched you. It was half an hour. And I was like, what? So first... if you say you watched me, I cannot really say anything to that, and I'm like, you're not willing to be wrong. So
you can't like win in that situation. You gotta get out of that.
It was really hard, because with him, even if he's telling you something's wrong, to do something that way, blah blah blah, and you just kind of want to justify or saying something, and he's not even listening. He's already doing something else. And so I was like, what am I like? What the fuck? All this anger that I was holding back because I couldn't tell him. That was the worst. Like, I was like, this was eating me alive. So that's why I quit, and that's why I came here. And
I'm glad. No, that you can't, you know, they're in their own world, you know, a lot of the time you can't get through to certain people, you know, so.
Yeah, I know
that's cool that you realize that. And,
he was a toxic guy.
Okay, you gotta burn off the dead wood.
Me,
you gotta burn off that in itself.
What's that expression?
Burn off the dead wood.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
You
know, there's a lot of insects living in dead wood. You shouldn't burn.
I'm a murderer.
Insects are important. No, but they need a house.
That's true. So I'm murdering families every time I get a psychological boost.
Don't even say that again.
Alright, let's end it there. Let's Absolutely. On that note, yeah, I think we've been going for a good amount of time, so I guess I'll end it off. But thank you.
True. We've been talking about. That's what I told you.
Yeah.
I told you I would
This
just
is
go
good.
and
This
go
is
and
good.
go.
You're
It's
natural.
Just, my brain is so fast. I'm like, I want to talk about this. And there are so many things we didn't talk about that I thought about.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
great.
episode 2, we can film that.
Okay, I need to think about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I'm leaving kind of soon, so we might not.
Yeah, true.
But
that was super nice of you to ask me to do that.
Yeah, of course. So thank you for being on. Thank you for tuning in to the Beneath the Surface podcast.